Welcome back to the King's Corner, the place for all things Bethesda. I am the KingFanMan with some more Fallout 76 tips. Are you tired of seeing all those high-level players running around Fallout 76 while you stay in the low levels? Well, I've got 7 tips to get you in the high levels really fast, so let's jump right in. Now, some of these are very simple, we just forget to do it at times, like sleeping. If you sleep on a sleeping bag, it gives you an hour of 5% extra XP. If you sleep on a mattress, like a real bed, then you get 2 hours of 5% XP. That is a lot when you think about it. So every time you go back to your camp, or every time you see a bed, sleep, and it will give you that 5% extra XP. Food can also be very beneficial when it comes to XP, and cranberries are the very best. Anything with cranberries in it will help your XP. Cranberry juice, cranberry cobbler, and cranberry relish. Cranberry juice gives you 2% XP, cranberry cobbler gives you 5% XP, and cranberry relish gives you 10% XP. Now, if you want to make that cranberry relish, you're going to have some extra ingredients. You're going to have gourds, you're going to have sugar, and you're going to have, of course, cranberries. If you want to find those ingredients, they're pretty easy to find. Let me help you out. First, to find the cranberries, you head up north in the forest to the Aaron Holt homestead. They have 10 plants there, and they respawn very often. So go up there as often as you want to pick those cranberries. Just beware, there's some feral ghouls that are out in the field, and normally some bloat flies, and you'll find some dogs up at the house. So beware of those enemies there at the Aaron Holt homestead. Now, for the sugar, you can either try to make it, or the easiest way is to walk by any river and get some snaptail reeds. Snaptail reeds kind of look like cattails, if you know what a cattail is. If you're from the south, you know what a cattail is. And these will make sugar. So pick some snaptail reeds to make the sugar, and then all that is left is you need the gourds. One place that you can get gourds is at the Hornwright Summer Villa, and the other place you can get gourds in Fallout 76 is Raleigh Clay's Bunker, but I would recommend the Hornwright Summer Villa. Gourds is the hardest thing to get, so if you cannot make the cranberry relish early on, the cranberry cobbler is the easiest to make, and it's 5%. My advice is to plant the gourds at your camp so that you always have a supply of the gourds. Now, you can't plant the cranberries, you always have to go get them, but you can plant the gourds, and that way you'll always have them. Speaking of food that will help you, there is a great event where you can get canned meat stew that will give you 5% XP. But to do it, you have to complete Feed the People. It's an event that happens in Morgantown. Now, this is a great thing to do to get extra XP, because you get XP for doing the event, you get XP for killing the enemies, and you get this canned meat stew that will give you 5% XP every time you eat the canned meat stew. It's a win-win-win. Speaking of events that gives you extra XP, there's one that is called the Path to Enlightenment, where you get to summon the Mothman. And when you commune with him, you actually get 5% extra XP for an hour. Now, what's really cool, and what I need to point out, is these bonuses stack on top of one another. They don't cancel one another out. In other words, when you sleep, when you eat your cranberries, when you go commune with Mothman, they don't cancel one another out. They stack on top of one another. So you get 5% plus 5% plus 5% plus 5%. So you need to continue to do all of these, and you get all of these bonuses stacked on top of one another. That's why all of these that I'm giving you will make you level extra fast. Now, I've given you one that was 10%, which was the cranberry relish. Now I'm going to give you one that is a 15% bonus, and it is in your perk cards. It is the inspirational perk card, and when you level it up full strength and you're on a team, it will give you 15% extra XP, and it doesn't run out. It lasts continually while you're on a team. It gives you 5% on rank 1, it gives you 10% on rank 2, and it gives you 15% extra XP on rank 3. You need the inspirational perk card. Use it all the time. Even for someone that likes to play solo, ask someone to team up with you, and then they can go their way and you can go your way, and you still get the benefits just as long as you're teamed up with them. You don't have to be together with them. You just have to be on a team with them to get this bonus. But it is so important to have this inspirational perk card. It gives you so much, as you see here, 15%, and if you put that on top of the sleep and the cranberry relish, that is a lot of XP, and you will level super fast. And we're not even done yet. Now, even though there is no magazine that will give you extra XP, there is one bobblehead that will, and that is the leader bobblehead. So be on the lookout for the leader bobblehead. It will give you 5% extra XP for 1 hour. The leader bobblehead. And again, just a reminder, all of these things stack. All of these XPs will stack on top of each other. So remember, sleep, eat your cranberries, do all of these things, and make sure you look on your stat page in your Pip-Boy to see what things are presently working, so that you make sure you keep your stats going to see when you need to sleep, when you need to eat your cranberries, and keep those extra XPs going. Okay, let's get practical, because when most people think of leveling up, they think of where do I go and what do I do? Well, believe it or not, it's not in doing quests, it's not even in doing workshops or events. To get points, which is what you're after in leveling up, you need to kill enemies in Fallout 76, because that's where the most points are in this game. And the next question is then, what enemies has the most points in Fallout 76? To break it down and make it simple, it is not based on the level of the enemy, it's more based on the class of the enemy. In other words, a super mutant is worth more than a scorched, no matter what the level of it is. So you want to go after enemies that are better in class. The Scorch would be the lowest level class of enemies in Fallout 76. Super mutants are super for gaining XP points. So anywhere there is a high concentration of high class enemies, that is where you want to go. Now, there is one thing: when you see enemies that have extra names on their name, like a super mutant warlord, he is going to be worth more points. Now, with all that said, that does not mean that workshops and events are not good, because remember, with workshop and events, not only do you get XP points for gaining them, you will also get enemies that come and attack them. So pick and choose those events and workshops that will send the higher level enemies, and you will get the best of both worlds. And then also, of course, if you really want to gain some good XP, you can also launch a nuke in the proper areas and really gain some XP if you're up to it. When the double XP weekend was on, what we did was actually event jump to the best events that sent the higher level enemies to the events. So we got the event points and we got the high level enemies, and we made sure we were eating our cranberry relish and sleeping and using that inspirational perk. And we kept our eyes open and did that path to enlightenment every time it was available, so that we could talk to the Mothman. Now, if you follow all of those tips, I promise you, you will be leveling up very fast as well too, just like I just did. Well, I hope these tips for leveling up have helped you a little bit. I hope I've given you some things that you didn't know, and I hope you will take them out into the wasteland and level up very, very fast. I appreciate you watching this video, and remember to watch to the very end because your Fallout 76 picture may just be in this video. And if it's not, you need to send me your favorite Fallout 76 pictures, and you can do that by Twitter or by Facebook. And if you're not following me on Twitter or Facebook, do that. The links are in the description below. And also, if you'd like to be a partner with this channel, that is Patreon. That link is in the description below as well. We have Discord too. You can check that out as well. I am the KingFanMan. I appreciate everything you do for me. I will see you out in the waste of West Virginia. Bye, guys.